Every morning, millions of people begin their day in almost the same way. An alarm rings. A schedule begins. The first hours are organized around habits, responsibilities, and plans for what comes next. But for most of human history, mornings began differently. Before clocks, digital calendars, and modern schedules, how did people know when it was time to begin their day? The answer is not that ancient humans lived without routines. They did. But many prehistoric communities followed a different kind of rhythm, one shaped by daylight, seasons, surroundings, and the needs of the people around them. To understand this, we need to look mainly at prehistoric hunter-gatherer, groups and other small-scale societies whose lives were closely connected to their environments. For these communities, time was not something measured only with numbers. It was something experienced. The rising sun brought light. Seasonal changes affected resources. Weather influenced movement. The landscape provided signals about what could happen and what needed attention. Evidence from archaeology and anthropology suggests that many early human communities developed flexible patterns of activity rather than the fixed schedules common in modern societies. Their days were organized around changing circumstances, finding resources, preparing tools, caring for family members, and sharing knowledge were connected parts of everyday life. But there was never one universal prehistoric routine. Human societies lived in different environments, and each environment created different challenges. A community near a coastline would experience different conditions from one living in a colder region or an inland landscape. The environment did not create one single schedule. It created a world that people had to understand. For many hunter-gatherer communities, daily life depended on awareness and decision-making. People needed to recognize patterns, respond to changes, and make choices based on what was happening around them. A decision about when to travel, where to search for resources, or how to work together could affect the success of the group. But these decisions were rarely made alone. Human survival has always involved cooperation. Knowledge about landscapes, plants, animals, and useful skills was passed between generations. People learned through observation, experience, and the guidance of others. A morning was not simply the start of an individual plan. It was part of a shared community rhythm. So how can we know what ancient mornings were actually like? This is one of the biggest challenges in studying the past. Ancient people did not leave behind personal schedules or written descriptions of ordinary days. Instead, researchers study clues, tools, settlements, food remains, and environmental evidence can reveal how people interacted with the world around them. Anthropological research can also provide insights into human behavior. While researchers recognize that living societies today are not exact copies of prehistoric communities, these sources do not give us every detail. They help researchers build careful interpretations from the evidence that remains. We can identify patterns, but we cannot know exactly how every individual began their day thousands of years ago. And that uncertainty is what makes human history so fascinating. The goal is not to recreate one perfect ancient morning. It is to understand how humans organized their lives in different worlds. This leads to a larger question. Was the modern idea of a morning routine always part of human life? Not exactly. The highly structured schedules familiar to many people today developed gradually as societies changed. Agriculture created new patterns of work and settlement. Growing communities and cities required new ways to coordinate activities. Later, industrial societies introduced even more precise systems for organizing time. Clocks became increasingly important because larger societies needed shared ways to plan work and daily responsibilities. But clocks did not change the human need for structure. They became another method humans used to organize life. Prehistoric communities created order through observation, experience, and cooperation. Modern societies create order through schedules, technology, and shared systems of time. The tools are different, but the human ability behind them is the same. Humans have always looked for patterns, created routines, and found ways to live within changing conditions. The story of ancient mornings is not about proving that the past was better than the present. It is about understanding how flexible human life has always been. Many prehistoric communities followed the signals available to them. Today, many people follow systems created by modern society. The environments have changed. The tools have changed. But the human desire to create structure remains. The surprising lesson is not that ancient people had no routines, It is that routines have always been part of being human. Only the way we create them has changed.